In a world of constant connectivity, our identities are shifting. No longer just a name on a card, but a string of ones and zeros, dancing across screens and databases. The promise, convenience, the price, that remains to be seen. Governments and corporations alike are ushering in a new era of digital identification. One ID to rule them all. Your ticket to banking, healthcare, and travel. Smartphones become passports, fingerprints become keys. The pandemic accelerated this shift, turning vaccine status into a gateway for basic freedoms. But what begins as voluntary can quickly become mandatory. Freedom becomes points, and points can vanish. China's social credit system offers a glimpse into this potential future. Citizens scored not just on financial reliability, but on their online behavior, their choice of friends. Good scores unlock doors, preferential loans, priority housing, the ability to move freely. Bad scores, they become digital shackles. The West frames its version differently. Digital wallets, they call them. A helpful tool to streamline your life, they say. But as these systems link to banks, government services, even your ability to enter a building, the line between convenience and control blurs. Your ID will no longer just identify you, it will define you. Proponents paint a rosy picture: faster transactions, less fraud, seamless integration across all aspects of life. But critics see a darker potential: the end of anonymity, the birth of programmable citizenship, where your rights and access can be granted or revoked with the click of a button. We've seen echoes of this before: passports that restricted movement, ration books that controlled resources, loyalty pledges that determined who could participate in society. Now, these concepts are reborn in the digital age, more pervasive and harder to escape. A cage made of numbers doesn't need bars. Who decides what constitutes good behavior in this new world? What happens when dissent equals disconnection? When your ability to buy food, access healthcare, or simply move about freely depends on your score? This isn't just about security, it's about the very architecture of our society. Are we building safeguards? Or laying the foundation for a system of unprecedented control? The technology races forward, but crucial questions linger. In our rush to make life more efficient, are we accidentally constructing a digital panopticon? A world where every action is observed, quantified, and judged? Imagine a morning where your phone won't unlock because your social media post was deemed problematic. Your transit pass is suddenly revoked, your bank account frozen. Not because you broke a law, but because an algorithm decided you weren't behaving optimally. This isn't science fiction. It's the logical endpoint of systems already in development. The allure is undeniable. One unified ID could streamline so many frustrations of modern life. No more forgotten passwords, lost cards, or tedious paperwork. Your entire life, accessible with a scan or a tap, but that convenience comes with a cost. Every transaction, every movement, every interaction becomes a data point, a brushstroke in the ever more detailed portrait of who you are, what you do, and what you might do next. In China, pilot programs are already in full swing. A low score might mean you can't book high-speed rail tickets. Your children might be barred from the best schools. Your face displayed on billboards is a warning to others. Western nations insist their approach will be different, voluntary, transparent. But history shows how quickly optional can become essential, then mandatory. How systems built with the best intentions can be twisted to serve the powerful. The technology itself is neutral. It's how it's implemented, who controls it, and what safeguards exist that will determine whether this becomes a tool for empowerment or oppression. Imagine a world where your digital ID is linked to everything. Your medical records determine your insurance rates in real time. Your spending habits influence your credit score by the minute. Your online searches shape what jobs you're offered, what neighborhoods you're allowed to live in. Is this progress? Or a carefully constructed trap? The push for adoption will be relentless. It will be framed as necessary for national security, for economic efficiency, for public health. Those who resist will be painted as Luddites, conspiracy theorists, or worse, threats to the smooth functioning of society. But once these systems are in place, they will be nearly impossible to dismantle. The infrastructure of total surveillance and control will be too tempting for those in power to ignore. We stand at a crossroads. The decisions made in the next few years will shape the very nature of citizenship, of privacy, of freedom itself for generations to come. Will we sleepwalk into a world where our every action is monitored, quantified, and judged? Where an invisible algorithm determines our worth and our opportunities? Or will we demand systems that enhance our liberty rather than restrict it? The technology is here. The infrastructure is being built, but the future is not yet written. What kind of world do we want to live in? One where trust is built through human connection and shared values, or one where trust is reduced to a number, constantly fluctuating based on our adherence to rules we may not even fully understand? As we hurtle towards this digital future, we must ask ourselves, what are we willing to sacrifice in the name of convenience? How much of our humanity are we prepared to reduce to data points? The promise of a frictionless, interconnected world is seductive, but we must be vigilant. We must question. We must demand transparency and accountability. Because once these systems are in place, dismantling them may prove impossible. The cage, once built, is hard to tear down. This is not a call for blind rejection of progress. It's a plea for careful consideration, for robust debate, for systems designed with human rights and dignity at their core, not as an afterthought. We have the power to shape this future, but only if we act now, while the foundations are still being laid. Will our digital IDs become keys to a more efficient, equitable world? Or will they become the locks on a gilded cage, trapping us in a system we never truly agreed to? The choice, for now, is still ours. But the window is closing. What happens when dissent equals disconnection? When your very existence in the modern world depends on a score? These are the questions we must grapple with. The decisions we make today will echo through generations. Our digital future is being written. It's time to make sure we have a say in the story.